Testing, testing. It's not on. everyone. Please stand as we begin the white coat ceremony for the class of 2027.
Good afternoon. Please be seated. Before we begin, please find your cell phone and make sure it is off or in silent mode. We have a photographer here tonight, so enjoy the evening knowing that the special moments will be captured. Welcome to the Wingate University School of Pharmacy White Coat Ceremony for the class of 2027. My name is Dr. Susan Bruce, and I have the honor of serving as Dean of the School of Pharmacy. This ceremony marks the 20th anniversary of our first P1 White Coat ceremony. For 20 years, we have been proudly educating pharmacy students and sending them into our communities to care for patients, our families, and friends. P1s, we're thrilled you're here. How about a round of applause for our P1s? The White Coat Ceremony symbolically welcomes you into the profession of pharmacy and elevates humanism and professionalism as core components of healthcare. During this ceremony, you will take an oath in front of your peers, family members, your faculty, and staff, acknowledging your commitment to uphold the profession while caring for your patients and committing yourself to honor, responsibility, and professionalism. Friends and family, thank you for being an important part of today as well. So how about a round of applause for our friends and family? Your support for the P1 learner you are celebrating today is so important. The next 4 years will be met with successes and challenges, and your steady support will be so meaningful as they grow and develop in their professional identity along the way. Finally, I have the honor of introducing WUSOP faculty and staff. So how about a round of applause for your future mentors? These talented experts are the facilitators of your journey through pharmacy school and into the profession of pharmacy. They are leaders in pharmacy education, and through their hard work and dedication, advance our profession every day. Through the curriculum they designed and deliver, conversations about study skills, time management, and life lessons, their mentorship and guidance will set you up for success. In 4 short years, we will be celebrating your graduation as the 20th alumni cohort of WUSUP. Your time in pharmacy school will fly by, so I encourage you to savor every moment and every experience as a critical part of your journey. Today marks an important first step in your professional journey. Again, welcome. I now have the honor of introducing Wingate University's Provost, Dr. Jeff Frederick. In Dr. Frederick's role, he oversees all academic programming across the university. Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Frederick, and I invite you to share a few words with our P1 students and their families.
Thanks, everybody. Good evening and welcome. Thanks, Dean Bruce, for the introduction. It's a cool part of my job to get to be at events like this, to see students who will enter today and receive a white coat, graduate in 4 years with a doctoral hood, and get to interact with you from time to time, all in between. Class of 2027, you're going to have a great experience here at Wingate. So let's start with that. To make that happen, I should also stop for a minute to thank the staff and faculty here at the School of Pharmacy, who over the next 4 years will teach you and they'll mentor you. They'll push you, they'll develop you, they'll prepare you, they'll offer you a pat on the back from time to time, and they'll help you in that transition from white coat to doctoral hood. This faculty is particularly well suited to help you grow into a world-class pharmacist. In the past 3 years, they have decentralized the leadership structure here at the university. They've examined and rebuilt the curriculum from top to bottom. They've gone through a successful reaccreditation, which doesn't sound hard, but you probably lost a few dog years in that process. They've navigated a global pandemic, a raft of changes in pharmacy and in pharmacy education, and helped our students grow their licensure exam results at a time when the national success rates were in fact going down. Class of 2027, if you want to find a mentor, and you should, they are here. Let me make just a brief comment or two. 2 years ago, I got a chance to talk to the class of 2025, and I told a story about a CEO. The CEO's predecessor gave him 4 envelopes when the CEO arrived at the position, and the old CEO said, every time the company is having a problem, open one of these envelopes, and it'll tell you what to do, one of these 4. With each crisis he faced, the new CEO opened one of the envelopes, and it gave him someone to blame for all of the problems. Well, after the first year, he'd been through the first envelope. Shortly into the second year, he had opened the second envelope. A couple of months later, he'd opened the third. And before 2 years were even up, he had opened the 4th envelope, which told him, you got no one else to blame but yourself. Write your letter of resignation. Soon enough, that last envelope told him that he had spent all of his time worrying about other people and who he might blame for his own or her own, and as the case may be, shortcomings, that he forgot to take responsibility, not at the beginning or the end, forgot to see the best in others, forgot to communicate honestly with all of those people that were in his orbit. I think it's still pretty good advice to take responsibility early and often, to look at yourself before you look at anyone else, and to be part of a solution as opposed to something else. So the story for today, unlike the CEO with the 4 envelopes, is a little different, and I'm a historian by training, so you'll forgive me if I pick on historians because I would say we're worthy of being picked on from time to time. I think it's okay to have a little fun at the historian profession. 3 historians were traveling by train, and they were in Italy. The first one looks outside of the train, and he sees an interesting animal grazing in a nearby pasture, and he says to his 2 historian colleagues, it appears there are black sheep in Italy. And the second historian, looks at the first, and he says, sir, you are overstating the evidence. It's only accurate to say that there may be at least 1 black sheep in Italy. At which point in time, the third historian immediately got into the conversation and said to both of them, you're both wrong, and you should both be paying a lot more attention. All you can conclude based on the evidence is that Italy has at least 1 black sheep, or at least one sheep who is black on one side. And they carried on thinking and arguing and complaining about each other until the train broke down just a minute later, coming to a screeching halt. The conductor announced very, very quickly that they're going to be stuck for about 2 hours until the new part comes in, and the three historians looked at each other and agreed to leave the train and walk over to see the sheep and figure out which of the three of them was right. So they disembarked the train, they climbed the hill, and they looked over on top of the hill and they saw the animal standing right next to the farmer. So the three of them walked together, and the third of the historians says to the farmer, "We're historians. We're traveling on this train here in Italy, and we've been trying to figure out if this animal is one of many black sheep in Italy, if this animal is the only black sheep in Italy, or if this is a sheep that's simply black on one side," which this historian says, "Aha, I'm right. Only black on one side." To which the farmer looks at them, shakes his head, and says, "You all are the dumbest historians I have ever seen. This is a goat." So what's the moral of this silly little story? First, don't forget to start at the beginning. Pharmacy school will surely require you to figure out lots of details, but start with the big picture. If you don't start with the big picture, sometimes goats turn into sheep. Second, talk to your colleagues as often as possible. And your colleagues are not only the fellow folks sitting with you, but your colleagues are everyone in the School of Pharmacy who exists to help you and grow you and develop you. As you learn and as you study and as you prepare to graduate and then practice, be a source of finding common ground among your colleagues as opposed to focusing on those things that you would disagree upon and get in the way of what it is you're trying to accomplish. Finally, the person you might least expect to be an expert might be one. So every patient, every member of a care team, every stakeholder in a healing process brings value. Don't underestimate any of them, because they may be able to redirect you into the solution you're looking for. Congrats on starting pharmacy school. You're going to do great. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be incredibly rewarding. Keep your faculty and staff apprised of your progress. Work together, form every study group known to man, and believe in yourself. And before you know it, that doctoral hood will be around you.
Thank you, Dr. Frederick, for those inspiring words for our new students. I want to take a moment to also recognize a special guest with us this evening. Excuse me. Timothy Randolph is a representative from Novant Health. He is the Senior Director of Pharmacy and will now come to speak to the class of 2027. But before I give him the microphone, I have just one quick side story. Remember when I told you last week that pharmacy is a small world? Well, I didn't realize until we met the first time, I thought, tonight, until we started talking, and we graduated from the same school of pharmacy. And I'm pretty sure I taught him 20 years ago. And we are going to confirm that because this was all in conversation here. But truly a small world that we both left New York and ended up here in North Carolina. So welcome to the stage.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Bruce. Very, very small world and a very rewarding one as well. So first off, congratulations. This is definitely a celebration and a momentous time in your journey. It's awesome. One thing Dr. Bruce touched on, and I'd like to double down on it, is today the symbolism of today and how symbolic what we're doing right now is for the rest of your career. The white coat itself is a symbol. It's a symbol of professionalism, but it's also a symbol of the heavy weight of responsibility entrusted upon you as future pharmacists. It's an awesome thing. Take pride in that. Reflect on the journey proudly and understand the weight that comes with that white coat. It's very rewarding. In preparing for today, I wanted to leave you with some things that I wish I had been told on my white coat ceremony day, which incidentally was just about 20 years ago. So as we celebrate the 20th year, I was having my white coat ceremony about 20 years ago. So first thing is value proposition. And this isn't something that's talked about a whole lot, but I ask you to be conscious and think about your value proposition, which is basically a positioning statement explaining the benefit that you provide and how you do it uniquely well. Very, very important in today's rapidly changing healthcare environment that you know your value proposition. It's going to evolve over time, but know it and be able to articulate it in 2 to 3 minutes whenever called upon. Pharmacists bring an immense value to the healthcare industry, and you should all understand your value proposition and how you do what you do uniquely well. The second thing is connect to purpose, and this is a life hack. If you figure out how to connect your work to your purpose, you will have an immense amount of joy throughout your career. I say again, it is a life hack. So think about why you got into healthcare, because most likely you started there. You said, I want to get into healthcare. Think about that. Understand why you thought that. And then from there, think about why pharmacy. Those two reflections will set you on your way towards understanding your connection to purpose. What motivates you? What drives you? Pharmacy is a beautiful career. It has all sorts of career paths. As you understand your value proposition and as you understand how you connect to your purpose, think about the career path that best suits you. In closing, you've chosen an excellent career. Again, a beautiful career. Pharmacy innervates nearly every aspect of healthcare, and medication therapy is central to optimal patient outcomes. Pharmacists are the experts in that regard. Find your purpose, picture the type of pharmacist you want to be, and then aim single-mindedly at becoming that pharmacist. Again, congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you, Tim. Novant Health is a strong supporter of our program, and we're grateful for their participation today. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Carrie Griffiths to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Carrie Griffiths, and I have the honor of presenting the members of the class of 2027 for receipt of their white coat on this 20th anniversary event. Let me begin by asking the class to proceed backstage, and I will also ask my colleague, Dr. Amy Naylor, to move to her position on the stage for presentation of the white coats. So you all may stand. The white coat ceremony marks the student's transition from the role of undergraduate student to that of a student pharmacist. Their white coat, which will be worn by the student when they are in experiential learning situations over the coming years, is placed on them by our founding faculty member, thus symbolizing the relationship between the student and their faculty. I will announce the names of the students one at a time. Please hold your applause until all of the students are wearing their white coats. Noor Abu Daba. Zoe Adams. Dana Budrun. Callie Baisden. Gabrielle Bazemore. Candace Biles Lee. Kirsten Boykin. Kaylee Dees. Paige Demmons. Ayana Douglas. Riley Ferguson. Zachary Hall. Latrice Holt. Ashlyn Hughes. Rama Ishnena. Priscilla Kufor. Shannon Langford. Caleb Lanier. Abby Marlowe. Richard Burness Martin, Jr. Kelsey McIntyre. Andrea Morales. Louisa Neff. Ben Wynn. Samuel Otto Knighton. Jenna Overfelt. Latasha Peterson. Jana Plummer. Sophia Popova. Grace Pryor. Emily Yasmin Qureshi. Yasamin Selagat. Yukti Shaw. Clarence Lizelle Smith II. Zachary Smyer. Sarah Voso. Sarah Wren. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2027. The Wingate University School of Pharmacy is committed to celebrating our student leaders. Students in our program are not only leaders within the School of Pharmacy, but also hold leadership positions in regional and national organizations. We're honored today to have our Student Senate President, Kendra Gemmel. She is originally from New Freedom, Pennsylvania, and is in her third year of our pharmacy program. She will graduate in December with a master's in business administration and is a member of the class of 2025. Kendra is here to present what it means for her to put on the white coat. Kendra?
$1,373. I would like you all to take a moment to ponder this number. This is how many days lie between you and your doctoral degree. My name is Kendra Gemmel. I am the current Student Senate President at Wingate University School of Pharmacy, and I'm honored to welcome you on your new journey. When I think about my own experience sitting in your seats 2 years ago, I reminisced on how I was feeling at the time. Nervous, excited, curious, and scared are all adjectives I would have used to describe myself in these moments, sort of like how I was feeling when they wanted me to speak in front of you all. Today marks the 20-year anniversary of the first class of students who chose to embark on this pharmacy school journey. Today also marks a new beginning for each and every one of you sitting here. By choosing to study in pharmacy school, you have not only stepped into an important profession, you have also stepped into a lifestyle. This lifestyle requires a lot of hard work under difficult conditions, endless empathy for those around you, and patience as new challenges arise. Your education will not be limited to the 4 years that you are a student. It will continue after graduation. Upon entering the world of pharmacy, you will learn to be a lifelong learner, one who embraces your ever-changing knowledge every day. Wearing this white coat will represent different things for each and every one of you. For some, it may represent that you made it one step further to your overall goals, and for others, it may represent anxiety and curiosity about what the future will hold. For all of you, it will represent your drive and motivation. You have all taken the initiative to complete the rigorous undergraduate course load, and I challenge that if you are ever feeling doubtful in your abilities, to remember this moment. Remember the hard work that you have put up until this point, and remember the sacrifices that you have made. I am sure you know that sitting here today, you will not be able to embark on this new beginning alone. While in pharmacy school, you will need help along the way, and all of your friends, family, and all of us here at WUSOP will be here to help guide you through. The people sitting next to you are going to be some of your greatest assets that you will use as a student. Friendships that you gain during this experience will be lifelong, and bonds that you form will last a lifetime. The faculty and staff are included in this, as they have all been in your shoes and can offer great advice about anything that you will need. Whatever it took for you to get here, we are all so glad that you are here. Although you all are extremely smart individuals, I challenge you to say, "I don't know." Before attending rotations or giving a presentation, a lot of nervousness comes from being afraid to say, "I don't know." While this phrase is daunting, "I don't know" is not the same as "I will never know." The only way to learn something is to be taught. No one is born with any information until someone has taught them. As a student, this is extremely important to hear, because you will not be expected to know everything, at least at first. I want to give a personal example of a time where I said, "I don't know." While on my second year rotations this past summer, I was rounding in one of the units in the hospital. To get us all oriented to the situation, rounds is when you get a brief synopsis of how the patients are doing, if anything has changed overnight, and if the patient is to be discharged that day. I was on the rounds, and one of the doctors looked at me and said, "What is the dose of enoxaparin for a 76-kilogram patient that we need prophylaxis for?" I responded with, "It doesn't matter what the weight of the patient is, I still do not know the answer." Needless to say, the doctor did not think that was very funny, but I tell you this story to give you an example of a time where I said, "I don't know." Well, in the moment, I was feeling like I made a fool of myself. I used this as a learning opportunity so that I could better serve my patients in the future. To the family, friends, and supporters of the learners, pharmacy school is hard. For many of the students, this will be the first time that they have to navigate spending hours studying, balancing school and social life, and being away from home. Please be patient. Show patience when your child is frustrated with school, show patience when your spouse is studying late, and show patience when your friend says no on a Friday night when they have a big test the next week. Families and friends, I challenge you to be patient with the person you are here with today. I would like to thank my family and friends. Without them, I would not be the person or student standing in front of you today. The white coat you now wear represents your willingness to help patients, your passion for learning, and your motivation and dedication to one day changing the world. Class of 2027, if there is one piece of advice that I will leave you with on your journey, aside from only keeping your naps to 20 or 90 minutes long, it would be to try your best. Whether you are taking an exam, studying after a long day, or just trying to make it through a lecture, always put your best foot forward and success will follow you. Amy Poehler once said, "As you navigate through the rest of your life, be open to collaboration. Other people and other people's ideas are often better than your own. Find a group of people who challenge and inspire you, spend a lot of time with them, and it will change your life." Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, Kendra. Please join me in one more round of applause.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Samir Kuzi, and I have the honor of reciting the Pledge of Professionalism with the class of 2027. The Pledge of Professionalism was developed in 1994 by the American Pharmacists Association, Academy of Student Pharmacists, and the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy, Council of Deans Task Force on Professionalism. Wingate University conducted its first white coat ceremony in 2003, during which the class recited the pledge. This tradition continues today. Class of 2027, please rise and read the pledge in unison with me. It is located in your program. Ready? As a student of pharmacy, I believe there is a need to build and reinforce a professional identity founded on integrity, ethical behavior, and honor. This development, a vital process in my education, I establish between myself and society as I become a member of the pharmacy community. Integrity must be an essential part of my everyday life, and I must practice pharmacy with honesty and commitment to service. steps toward full membership in the profession of pharmacy. Congratulations. All right, you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings our program to a close. We will recess beginning with those seated on the stage, followed by the faculty in the audience, and then the class of 2027, followed by all of our guests. We look forward to you joining us for a reception in the lobby of the Rotunda. Thank you.